Marcus Sterling's return was unannounced. He'd cut his Tokyo trip short, a vague unease gnawing at him. The grand foyer of the Sterling mansion was silent, too silent. Then, the sharp, crystalline shatter of glass from the sunroom, followed by a voice he barely recognized, Elena's, his bride-to-be, stripped of its usual honeyed charm, now pure venom. "You little monster!" That was a Limoges vase. His blood ran cold. Pushing the door open silently, the scene before him froze the very air in his lungs. His son, Leo, 7 years old and lost in his own world, was crouched in a corner, rocking, hands over his ears, surrounded by ceramic shards. Towering over him was Elena, her beautiful face contorted with a rage so ugly it was alien. Her hand was raised, poised to deliver a stinging blow. And between them stood Clara. For 5 years, Clara had been a ghost in his house. The stoic, efficient maid in a crisp black uniform, eyes always downcast, voice a soft murmur. He'd hired her on a recommendation, barely noticing her. Now, she was transformed. She wasn't just standing, she was a shield. Her usually squared shoulders were set like granite, her frame, though slight, seemed to fill the room. One arm was stretched back, firmly sheltering Leo behind her skirts. The other was raised, not to strike, but as a barrier. Her eyes, usually fixed on the floor, were locked on Elena, blazing with a ferocity that made Marcus, a man who commanded boardrooms, take an involuntary step back. "You will not," Clara stated, her voice low but vibrating with an authority that cracked through the tension like a whip. It wasn't a plea. It was a decree. "You will not touch him." Elena spluttered, her arms still raised. "How dare you? You're fired. Get out of my house." "It is his house," Clara countered, her gaze never wavering. "And my duty is to him." For the first time, her eyes flickered to Marcus in the doorway, and in them, he saw no surprise at his arrival, only a profound, weary accusation. "See," her eyes screamed. "See what she is." In that frozen fragment of time, a dam broke. The blindfold of his own neglect was ripped away. He saw the truth: Elena's impatience with Leo, which he'd dismissed as pre-wedding stress, Leo's increased retreats, which he'd attributed to his autism, Clara's constant, quiet presence near his son, which he'd mistaken for mere duty. He had been building a future with a woman who saw his son as a nuisance, while true loyalty wore a maid's uniform and stood fearless against a storm. The billionaire, who possessed everything, realized he had almost lost the one thing that mattered, saved only by the woman he had never truly seen. Elena, Marcus's voice, when it finally came, was dangerously quiet, thawing the frozen moment. "Get out." The wedding was off. The mansion felt different. And in the days that followed, Marcus didn't find Clara in the staff quarters. He found her in Leo's room, sitting by his bed as he slept peacefully, her hand gently smoothing his hair. The unyielding guardian was gone, replaced once more by the gentle caretaker. But Marcus would never see her as just the maid again. She was the fortress he never knew he had, the love that protected his son when he was too blind to do it himself.